and my teeth are weak. How can I know so much? No, no, I will nibble your strings as long as my teeth last, and afterwards do my best for the others. To preserve dependence by sacrificing oneself is nowhere enjoined by wise moralists. On the contrary, keep wealth for want, but spend it for thy wife, and wealth, and all to guard thy life. Friend, replied King Speckleneck, that may be the rule of policy, but I'm one that can by no means bear to witness the distress of those who depend on me. For death that must come comes nobly when we give our wealth and life and all to make men live. And you know the verse, friend, art thou faithful? Guard mine honour so, and let the earthy rotting body go. When King Golden Skin heard this answer, his heart was charmed, and his fur bristled up for pure pleasure. Nobly spoken, friend, said he, nobly spoken. With such a tenderness for those that look to thee, the sovereignty of the three worlds might be fitly thine. So saying, he set himself to cut all their bonds. This done, and the pigeons extricated, the King of the Mice gave them his formal welcome. But, your Majesty, he said, this capture in the net was a work of destiny. You must not blame yourself as you did, and suspect a former fault. Is it not written, floating on his fearless pinions, lost amid the noonday skies, even thence the eagle's vision kens the carcass where it lies. But the hour that comes to all things comes unto the Lord of Air, and he rushes, madly blinded, to his ruin in the snare. With this correction, Golden Skin proceeded to perform the duties of hospitality, and afterwards, embracing and dismissing them, the pigeons left for such destination as they fancied, and the King of the Mice retired again into his hole. Now Light o' Leap, the Crow, had been a spectator of the whole transaction, and wondered at it so much that at last he called out, "Ho, Golden Skin, thou very laudable Prince! Let me too be a friend of thine, and give me thy friendship." "Who art thou?" said Golden Skin, who heard him, but would not come out of his hole. "I am the Crow Light o' Leap," replied the other. "How can I possibly be on good terms with thee?" answered Golden Skin with a laugh. "Have you never read, when food is friends with feeder, look for woe? The jackal ate the deer, but for the crow." "Now, how was that?" "I will tell thee," replied Golden Skin. The story of the Jackal, Deer, and Crow. Far away in Bihar there is a forest called Champak Grove, and in it had long lived in much affection a deer and a crow. The deer, roaming unrestrained, happy and fat of carcass, was one day descried by a jackal. "Ho, ho!" thought the jackal on observing him, "if I could but get this soft meat for a meal, it might be if I can only win his confidence." Thus reflecting, he approached and saluted him. "Health be to thee, friend Deer." "Who art thou?" said the Deer. "I am Small wit the Jackal," replied the other. "I live in the wood here, as the dead do, without a friend. But now that I have met with such a friend as thou, I feel as if I were beginning life again with plenty of relations. Consider me your faithful servant." "Very well," said the Deer. And then, as the glorious King of Day, whose diadem is the light, had withdrawn himself, the two went together to the residence of the Deer. In that same spot, on a branch of champak, dwelt the Crow Sharp Sense, an old friend of the Deer. Seeing them approach together, the Crow said, "Who is this number 2 friend, Deer?" "It is a Jackal," answered the Deer, "that desires our acquaintance." "You should not become friendly to a stranger without reason," said Sharp Sense. "Don't you know "To folks by no one known house room deny, The Vulture housed the Cat, and thence did die." "No, how was that?" said both. "In this wise," answered the Crow. The story of the Vulture, the Cat, and the Birds. On the banks of the Ganges there is a cliff called Vulture Crag, and thereupon grew a great fig tree. It was hollow, and within its shelter lived an old vulture named Grey Pate, whose hard fortune it was to have lost both eyes and talons. The birds that roosted in the tree made subscriptions from their own store, out of sheer pity for the poor fellow, and by that means he managed to live. One day, when the old birds were gone, Long Ear, the cat, came there to get a meal of the nestlings, and they, alarmed at perceiving him, set up a chirruping that roused Grey Pate. "Who comes there?" croaked Grey Pate. Now Long Ear, on espying the Vulture, thought himself undone, but as flight was impossible, he resolved to trust his destiny and approach. "My lord," said he, "I have the honour to salute thee." "Who is it?" said the Vulture. "I am a cat." "Be off, cat, or I shall slay thee," said the Vulture. "I am ready to die if I deserve death," answered the cat, "but let what I have to say be heard." "Wherefore then comest thou?" said the Vulture. "I live," began Long Ear, "on the Ganges, bathing and eating no flesh, practicing the moon penance like a Brahmacharya. The birds that resort hither constantly praise your worship to me as one wholly given to the study of morality and worthy of all trust. And so I came here to learn law from thee, sir, who art so deep gone in learning and in years." "Dost thou then so read the law of strangers as to be ready to slay a guest? What say the books about the householder? Bar thy door not to the stranger, be he friend or be he foe, for the tree will shade the Woodman while his axe doth lay it low. And if means fail, what there is should be given with kind words, as greeting fair and room to rest, fire and water from the well, simple gifts, or given freely in the house where good men dwell, and without respect of person, young or bent with many winters, rich or poor, whatever thy guest, honor him for thine own honor. Better is he than the best. Else comes the rebuke, pity them that ask thy pity. Who ought thou to stint thy hoard, when the holy moon shines equal on the leper and the lord? And that other too, when thy gate is roughly fastened, and the asker turns away, thence he bears thy good deeds with him, and his sins on thee doth lay. For verily in the house the husband ruleth, men the Brahman teacher call, Agni is the twice born's master, but the guest is lord of all. To these weighty words Grey Pate answered, Yes, but cats like meat, and there are young birds here, and therefore I said, Go. Sir, said the Cat, and as he spoke he touched the ground, and then his 2 ears, and called on Krishna to witness to his words. I that had overcome passion and practiced the moon penance know the scriptures, and howsoever they contend in this primal duty of abstaining from injury, they are unanimous. Which of them saith not, He who does and thinks no wrong, he who suffers being strong, he whose harmlessness men know, unto Swarga such doth go. And so, winning the old vulture's confidence, Long Ear the Cat entered the hollow tree and lived there. And day after day he stole away some of the nestlings, and brought them down to the hollow to devour. Meantime the parent birds, whose little ones were being eaten, made an inquiry after them in all quarters, and the Cat, discovering this fact, slipped out from the hollow and made his escape. Afterwards, when the birds came to look closely, they found the bones of their young ones in the hollow of the tree where Grey Pate lived, and the birds at once concluded that their nestlings had been killed and eaten by the old vulture, whom they accordingly executed. That is my story, and why I warned you against unknown acquaintances." "Sir," said the Jackal with some warmth, "on the first day of your encountering the Deer, you also were of unknown family and character. How is it then that your friendship with him grows daily greater?" "True, I am only Small wit, the Jackal, but what says the Saw? In the land where no wise men are, men of little wit are lords, and the castor oil's a tree, if no tree else its shade affords. The Deer is my friend; condescend, sir, to be my friend."